Alright, so now we're in After Effects. So first thing we need to do is to create a new project. So click on New Project, and then go to Composition, New Composition, and then let's create the composition depending on the file name that you need for the project. So for this certain project, it's LBAP shot 026 comp v1. Alright, so version number. Next, the size of your film depends on the project. So for this project, it's 4096 by 1716, and then the duration I always keep it at 10 seconds, so I have time to wiggle. And then click on OK, and then it will open a composition for you with all the timelines and stuff. So once you're done creating your sequence, we need to edit some settings in the preferences so that it's easier for us to edit. So go to Edit, Preferences, and then General, and then make sure that default spatial interpolation to linear is checked. Go to Import, make sure sequence footage is 24 so that whenever you import PNG sequence, it automatically has a 24 frame rate. And then click on OK. Now let's start importing. So double click on the project to import. I'll start with the background. I'll select everything so that it imports at the same time. Import again the other files. So I open. To import the PNG sequence, you just have to click on the first drawing and then make sure PNG sequence is checked. Click on Import, and then do that for the rest of the layers. There. So for this certain project, we use the texture, overall texture for everything. So we have texture layers as well. There. Okay. So next thing we need to do is to create the comp. So we'll start with the background, and then the window. So just drag it in the timeline, and then Nanay color, and then Nanay shade, and then I open. Alright, so now we have something like this. Okay, and then what I do, what I usually do kung lagpas yung the composition, I go to the very end, press N so that the work area bar will snap to the end of the scrubber. Go to Composition, and then trim comp to work area so that it fits. Alright, so there. And then what I'll do now is I want to mask the shade to the character, to Nanay character. So what I'll do is I'll hide first eye color so it won't affect the editing. I'll duplicate the end color, put it on top of Nanay shade, and name this as shade mask. Okay, and then if you toggle your switches, it opens this track matte. So what I'll do is this one, if I adjust track matte to alpha matte, it will use the layer on top as a mask. So there. So now the shade is masked to the character. And then for you to have no problem with the layering and stuff, I'll highlight them too, and then Control Shift C to pre-compose, and then I'll group them together as Nanay shade. And then now we have one layer of the shade and the end color. Okay, so let's do the overalls first. So first is we need to apply the texture. This depends on the project that you are doing. So for this certain project, it has an overall texture that we use. So according to the overall texture, the mode should be wait, let me check my files. The mode should be linear light for texture 1, 20% opacity, and then texture 2 is overlay, 20% opacity. So now we have something like this. Then now for the shade, so right now it looks weird, right? Does it look like a shade? All you have to do is just change it to multiply, and now you have your shade.